Hey everyone, welcome to another book review. This week we are going to look at the Artist's Color Guide, Watercolor, Understanding the Palette, Pigments and Properties. This is a book by Hazel Soan. Hazel Soan is a British artist. I actually have a few of her books. Now this book was published in 2014 by the publisher Northlight Books. After I flipped through a few pages, I realized that I actually already have this book because many years ago I bought this book called WaterColor Rainbow, Exploring the Colors in Your Palette. This was published in the same year, 2014. This was published by Bedsford. These two books, they have different cover art, but the content in both the books, they are exactly the same. I really hate it when publishers, when they buy the rights to the book, they reprint the book but with different cover art. Different cover art is alright, but they reprint it with different titles. How are you supposed to know that the books, they have the same content? Alright, having said all that, this is actually quite a good book. This book talks about the characteristics of watercolor. Now this is not an instructional book, so this book is mostly a collection of tips and techniques that you can use, information and knowledge that you can use to enhance whatever watercolor knowledge that you already have. So this is a book that can complement other instructional books. It provides additional clarifications on how you can use colors, what are the color concepts like temperature bias, how to interpret and use the color wheel, understanding watercolor pigments, how watercolor is made. So there are a lot of beautiful examples here in the book. I really love her art, her style is very loose, and I like Hazel Soan's use of pigment. You can see that the colors, the intensity, it's really strong. So this book talks a lot about the characteristics of watercolor, transparency, how the colors disperse on paper, how they react with other colors. So here it talks about watercolor mixing, how you can mix the color on paper or by layering them one on top of another, how you can blend colors together, what colors to choose for your palette. And in the second half of the book, it talks about the individual colors. So here it talks about yellow, what's the significance of this color, what it can be used for, what colors can you get when you mix it with other colors. And it talks more specifically on the different types of yellow: Indian yellow, Aureline, quinacridone gold, transparent yellow, cadmium yellow, lemon yellow. So it talks about the different colors under yellow with orange. And there are lots of examples. Here we talk about, here we have the reds, different types of reds, the complementary of color, what complements red. Here it talks about the individual colors: cadmium red, light red, quinacridone red, scarlet lake. So it talks about red, yellows, violets, blues, and greens. What are the types of greens you can mix? What are the types of greens in nature? What are the greens you can get, the ready-made greens that you can buy? Sap green, gold green, olive green, hooker's green, perlin, meridian. What I like about this book is it talks specifically about certain colors. So for example, with green, the colors that I use are sap green and phthalo green, but it's always interesting to read about other colors that you don't use. So if I were to test out other greens, I would have to spend money to buy those greens, but it may mean spending money to buy colors that you may not like, that you may not use later on. And here, this chapter talks about earth tones, burnt sienna, raw umber, burnt umber, sepia. And this chapter, chapter 10, talks about mixing blacks and grays, neutral tones, how you can mix grays using the 3 primary colors, and lastly white, the white of the paper, and titanium white, Chinese white, which are opaque colors. So it talks about the purpose of opaque white watercolors. This is a good book that I can recommend easily to beginners who are starting out with watercolor, who want to learn more about watercolor, the colors, the pigments, the characteristics and properties of watercolor. This is a good book to complement any instructional books that you may already have gone through. The only thing to take note is when buying Hazel Soan's book, well, she is quite a popular artist and author. Different publishers would take her book and reprint under different names. So sometimes, for example, in my case here, I bought the same book under different titles. So if you already have some of her books, be sure to check out reviews online to see whether or not the books that you want to get, if they actually are the same books under different titles. Okay, so that's all for my review today. I hope this video is helpful. If you want to get yourself a copy, you can check out the Amazon and Book Depository links in the video description below. Those are affiliate links, so if you buy through those links, I actually earn some money. I use the money to get more books like this to feature on my YouTube channel. So any support from you is fantastic. Thanks for watching today's video. See you in the next one. Bye.